Hello, my paranormal peeps. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator of Deep Woods Paranormal. I'm also your host of this podcast, the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. And we try and do a regular podcast at least once a week. And then we do Amanda's basically talks about ghost stories from the past on Wednesdays. And then on Fridays, we usually do the Deep Woods Paranormal podcast, Bigfoot only. So, the Deep Woods Bigfoot podcast will come out later tonight. I'll get that out for you guys too. So there's going to be two podcasts coming out today. So if you're listening to this one and you want to listen to another one, that one will also be new. And then we're going to be doing a lot of interviews and stuff with people here shortly. We've got a lot of stuff going on. If you're watching the show, you see this Deep Woods Productions behind me logo. Yes, we are officially a production company. We will be doing all kinds of different cool things now. So part of it will be the paranormal still. We're going to be doing the Deep Woods Paranormal, where we go out and research anything paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs, Sasquatch, helping people in their homes with paranormal problems or businesses or whatever. And then basically, lake monsters. We think we finally got a really good lead on the lake monster here in Texas. Been talking to so many witnesses lately. It's been so awesome. So I just want to send a shout out to if you're listening and you're one of our witnesses that came forward. We really appreciate you. I'm not going to give out any names. I told you I would keep you guys completely hidden. But thank you guys again for coming forward and sharing your stories, whether it be Bigfoot or other crypto creatures or UFOs or whatever. We really appreciate it. We'll be meeting with some of you here in the future, and you'll be part of our Deep Woods Paranormal show. So, anyways, like I said, we're a production company now, so we do the Deep Woods Paranormal stuff. We're going to be doing a survival show and podcast. We're going to be doing probably some lifestyle stuff, and then also maybe some dog stuff because everybody loves our dogs. They're just crazy, full of character. And then maybe some other things. We do travel quite a bit, and we might start doing reviews of different places, but those will all probably be different YouTube channels. So we're not crossing them back and forth. I know certain people just like the paranormal stuff. Some people like the survival stuff. Some people like the dog stuff. So we're just going to keep it all separate. But there will be one YouTube channel, if you're interested, that will have all these shows and more on there. So as we move forward, as we get better and better at what we're doing, and as we continue to progress towards what we want to get to, which is having our own show or shows, producing our own shows and stuff like that. We'll be working with other people in the field that do filming as well. So you'll see that coming up here shortly too. Lots and lots of Bigfoot stuff coming down the pike. We will be heading down to Huntsville tomorrow. You might see us cruising around. We're going to be out probably in the forested areas. So if you're looking for us, you may see us. If you do, please wave and say hi or come introduce yourself or whatever. We always like to meet new fans. So yeah, we're going to be out in that area. We're going to be looking at maybe 4 or 5 spots. I'll talk more about this on the Bigfoot podcast coming up next. So if you're interested in Bigfoot and you want to know more about what we're going to be doing, we'll be talking about that on the Bigfoot podcast. So, okay, let me see what else I need to tell you guys about. Like I said, we're taking our shows to new levels. We'll be working with other film crews on trying to get shows put together, maybe documentaries, and really try and boost our YouTube channel. If you haven't gone to our YouTube channel, you can watch this podcast over there. Lots more investigations coming up. My work has just been a little bit distracting lately. And then trying to put this business together and all that other stuff has just been a lot of work. So October 22nd, we're going to be at the File House here in Texas. We're going to meet with Dr. Heidi Hoke. She's a sweet lady. Had a good conversation with her the other day. She's the owner of the house. She's got a lot of information about it. She will be coming on to the Deep Woods Pond. Yeah, which again, she will be coming on to the Deep Woods Paranormal podcast and talking about the house before we do an investigation. So that'll come out like the Friday before, or maybe even like the Monday before we do the investigation. And then at the Ply House, we will probably be doing live video either through Facebook or YouTube, maybe even TikTok. So whatever platform you follow us on, be aware of that. That'll be coming up on the 22nd. We don't know a time or anything. If you follow us on social media, we'll let you know. Tonight, Amanda's mom's coming over. She's got some cool ghost stories. So Amanda's going to interview her. So that should be fun. That'll come out probably next week. And then I'm going to have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Bo Roberts. He is an actor, but he's also into the paranormal, and here's just a cool guy. So I'm looking forward to meeting him and talking to him and getting his takes on the paranormal and stuff like that. So that's all coming down the pike. But so yeah, stay tuned. Paranormally, we're doing more UFO research because we've had a lot more weird stuff happening around us lately. If you saw our TikTok video or our short YouTube video, you saw those craft flying in like a V formation just after I saw that weird stuff going on. So, oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys the Ply House. So let me share my screen with you. Here we go. All right. So this is the OP Ply House in Manola, Texas. It was built around 1903 to 1904. And then basically, it's just a craftsman's house. It's huge. It's a mansion. I don't know how many rooms or whatever. I was looking through this to try and get some information. But it's said to be one of the most haunted houses in Texas. I was talking to the doctor, Dr. Heidi Hoke, about it. And she was just telling me just all this cool stuff about it. So we look forward to going out there and seeing if we can get any kind of activity. We'll be working with other teams and trying new things and doing a lot of different things. So watch out for that podcast to come out. And then also we'll be doing the investigation there. So this is a picture of the house. Still doing research on this location. It looks like a cool location. So let me go back to my screen here. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. So tomorrow, this should be interesting. I have about 4 locations I want to go check out. They're not in the national forest. They're actually outside of the national forest. They're actually north of the national forest. We've had more and more witnesses say, hey, go check this area out. Go check that area. I'm not going to name them because I don't want people showing up. But this is going to be like more like a day investigation. My plan for this is basically for Amanda to drive us up there, me grab a handy cam or whatever camera gear I need, maybe a GoPro. And if we see something, we're going to stop and essentially go out and walk into the forest and see if we can document whatever we see, whether it's tree bends or trees snapped off at weird angles, or maybe just trees completely snapped off of the base. Look for footprints, maybe look for some hair samples. We do have the one hair sample, but I don't know if we're ever going to get it tested because it was out in the weather and everything for a long period of time, so I don't think it's viable anymore. That said, so those are our upcoming plans. Lots more podcasts coming out. We're going to be just probably getting back to 3 or 4 a week. Our ultimate goal is to get to 5, but we want to try and start mixing some guests in and stuff like that. So as we kind of meet new people and stuff like that, we're bringing them onto the show. They're having conversations, and we're talking about anything paranormal on this show. So like I keep saying, if you'd like to come on to the show, you've had some kind of paranormal experience, we would love to have you on here. There is no judgment. We don't ridicule anybody. We ask that our fans don't ridicule anybody. But we do want to hear your story. We want to know what happened to you. And you can remain anonymous. You don't have to use your normal name. You don't have to show up on video. You can just basically talk. And we'd love to hear your story. So if you'd like to come on to our paranormal podcast, deepwoodsparanormal.com, you can go on there and onto our website. And on the second page, I believe it is, you can go through and fill out the form and just say, we want to be on your podcast, blah, blah, blah. You can email me. My email's everywhere, so I don't really care. deepwoodsparanormal@gmail.com. If you want to call me, my cell phones, you can text me, whatever, 979-250-0072. Please don't give this out to anybody else. But if you want to talk, I'm constantly handing out my business cards with my cell phone on it. So we're looking for real paranormal witnesses that are comfortable talking about their experiences. I know how difficult it is for people to come out and say, I experienced this, I experienced that, because they're so afraid of ridicule. And if you listen to Amanda talk the other night, she was saying that the whole reason she stopped doing a podcast is she was afraid of the backlash that it would cause. But we've had so many people, so many nice people here in town come up and say, hey, you guys are those podcasting people. You do the Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. And super friendly, really enjoy meeting you guys. And that helps. That really boosts her confidence and boosts mine and really helps us. So thank you guys again for all the support you've given us. We really, really appreciate it. I know this is kind of a rambling on podcast, but we'll get back into more paranormal creatures and stuff like that, what happened during the weekend, in the podcast for next week. So if you're still wanting to listen to another podcast, I will be doing the Bigfoot podcast next. So take a listen for that. I'll go way more in depth into where we're going to go, probably the areas I want to check out, what I'm looking for, and how I think we're going to do it. Like I said, this is going to be more of a daytime investigation, and we'll go from there. So if you're in Huntsville and you've had a Bigfoot experience, like I said, I gave you all my information. Feel free to contact us. If you want to meet up and show us where you had your experience, this happens all the time. We meet people all the time that have had experiences. So again, it can be confidential. We don't need to give out your information. You don't have to be on camera or anything like that. But we do want to meet with you and have you show us where you had your experience and stuff. So be it UFOs, Bigfoots, ghosts, Sasquatch, Dogman, any other types of cryptos, lake monsters, river monsters. We're very interested in that. We want real firsthand accounts. We want to hear your story. All right, guys. So stay tuned. Another podcast coming up here in just a minute or two.